Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. I was just sitting, reflecting, and thinking. Then it dawned on me the reason that I'm having such a difficult time delivering a message as beautiful as the that I deliver is because it sounds strange. It sounds foreign to people and unbelievable because as close as they've ever come to this message, it has been referenced as a benefit after death. So it's hard for people to accept. Then I was just wondering why. Out of all of these years, then it finally hit me. You remember there was a time that people refer to, they call it, when, as far as biblical is concerned, they call it the Old Testament biblical times. You might have heard about that. That's when they were talking about Moses, when they were talking about Abraham, all of that. Yeah, well, that was back in those days. But later on, they started talking about Christianity. That was a new time. They had moved on from back in those days. You were talking about Jesus laying hands on people, and they were healing the sick, and the blind could see, and the lame could walk. I mean, all kinds of things were happening because the times had changed. Now, there's no reference anywhere about that happening in the Old Testament. Not that kind of stuff. Laying on of hands. Nah. The messages that Jesus taught, these things were like new. It represented a different time. It really wasn't new. It is the same identical stuff that was being talked about in the Old Testament. It's not seen like that because those times were different. Times causes actions to reflect a different impression. So as we think about that, ladies and gentlemen, we're thinking about these days. And I want you to understand these days are very important because like when the New Testament times were different than Old Testament times, these times are different than Old Testament times and the New Testament times. These are the present Testament times, the present Testament times. And each time brings about a new understanding. It brings about I want to say a growth. I can't think of the really words I really want to say, but it means that you have matured. Okay, maybe it means you're now an adult. You put away your childish things. Now you understand the real things. And so what it's basically references is this, ladies and gentlemen. God, and I want to tell you the whole message of the Bible. You don't have to get caught up in all of that other stuff, all of the whole history. You can do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. You want to know about what they say about the beginning of times, as far as the scriptures goes, you feel free to do so. But the whole message of God and you today here is this. There's a God. There's a power that you can't see. That lets you know that you are not God. Nobody on earth is God. No man, no woman, no shade, no hair color, no anything. We are all human beings. And the evidence that we're all human beings is that we all require sustenance for continued existence, survival. And that sustenance is the same identical thing. Food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare. There are many other things, but these are the most major things. And the resources for meeting these needs have already been given, just like the earth. They are in the earth, above the earth, on the earth, seen and unseen. But your needs manifest themselves as you get hungry, you get tired. These are things, and then it works with your mind, and your spirit drives you to try to meet those needs. And so that's why you have the ability to do something, to work. This is how you meet all of your needs. Now, first of all, as an individual, you got all of these needs to meet. And you have to do them as an individual. Food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare. You have to be responsible for all of that. As your family grows, responsible for all of that. But as the family grows, then times change, things change. And so what we learn in the growth of time is that now you don't have to do all of those things as individuals. There are so many of you, so few things to do, that you just choose what is your best thing that gives you your greatest joy. That's what you choose to do, that one thing. And everybody scattered across the board choosing their one thing creates enough people in those various things to establish a manifestation of all the goods and services that would flow like a mighty river overflowing, or like they say, a mighty rushing stream of all of those goods and services that you have determined are essential for your survival. Now, what are you doing? You're respecting God by respecting God's creation. You're using what God has given you. You're not talking about conservative, because conservatives suggest that there is no God. Conservatives suggest that their intuitiveness is very precious in God's purpose. No, my friends. The food, the ability to manifest food from seed, that was given by God, not man. And so when God determines that that's through, that's when it's through. Not when conservatives, because see, that was the time they believed in God. But they changed the system around to go for money. They put their faith in money, because with money, they can determine who got the money. Now they're getting power, how much they got. And this would set it up so they can actually put themselves in a position to call themselves God, or have you dependent upon them as if they were God. Now, in order for them to possess you, they had to lie, cheat, steal, kill, war, and all that kind of stuff. Now got you out here trying to con somebody just trying to survive. And they putting you in jail while they ride sky high. Well, see, all of that is the stuff that is the world. And the message today in this part of the world is that we're living here today. Now, whenever it happens, they call it born again, but it's talking about renewing your mind. When your mind is renewed, you can see the world for what it is, and you can see clarity in the beauty of love. Then when you can do that, it's like divorcing. Boop. You caught your wife cheating. Boop. You caught your husband cheating. Boop. It's over. It's over. But now you're married to one that doesn't cheat. And what do? Your whole living, making sure that everybody can have food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, and a job, and a career according to God's plan. Because all the stuff that these people got, they stole it. It didn't belong to them. Now, you don't have to go and fight them. You just start exercising the basic principles of God's love, and I tell you what, God will work a miracle and allow you to be able to do everything that is necessary to conquer this earth back for the glory of God. Now, that's very simple. Very simple. God's way is the only way. God's way is the only way. When you say, somebody say, I'm the greatest, I mean, I'm the best. I'm the only way. People can fight me, but they all fall. Why? Because we are the supporters. We are the lifeblood. They're given to us by God. I want to thank you so very much for that moment, ladies and gentlemen.